You open your refrigerator, and everything inside is cold. But here's the surprising part. Your fridge isn't creating cold air. Instead, it's constantly removing heat from inside and pushing that heat outside. So how does it actually do that? Let's break down the refrigeration cycle step by step. A refrigerator does not create cold in the way most people think. Instead, it removes heat from inside the fridge and releases that heat into the surrounding room. This process makes the inside feel cold because less heat energy remains there. So the real job of a refrigerator is to move heat from a colder space, inside the fridge, to a warmer space, outside the fridge. This might sound strange at first, but it's the key idea behind how refrigeration works. The refrigerator works using a repeating process called the refrigeration cycle. This cycle has four main parts: the compressor, the condenser, the expansion valve, and the evaporator. A special fluid called refrigerant flows through all these parts in a continuous loop. As it moves through the system, it changes pressure, temperature, and state, allowing it to absorb heat from inside the fridge and release it outside. The refrigerant is the substance that carries heat through the system. It has a special property. It can easily change from a liquid to a gas and back again at relatively low temperatures. When it changes state, it absorbs or releases heat. This ability is what allows the refrigerator to move heat from one place to another efficiently. The cycle begins at the compressor. Here, the refrigerant enters as a low-pressure gas. The compressor squeezes it, increasing its pressure and temperature. As a result, the gas becomes very hot. This step is important because it prepares the refrigerant to release heat in the next stage. Next, the hot, high-pressure gas moves into the condenser coils, usually located at the back of the fridge. As air passes over these coils, heat is released into the room. As the refrigerant loses heat, it cools down and turns into a liquid. So in this step, heat is removed from the refrigerant and transferred to the outside environment. The liquid refrigerant then passes through the expansion valve. This valve suddenly reduces its pressure. When pressure drops quickly, the temperature also drops. So the refrigerant becomes very cold as it leaves the valve. Now it is ready to absorb heat from inside the fridge. Finally, the cold refrigerant enters the evaporator inside the fridge. Here, it absorbs heat from the air inside the fridge. As it absorbs heat, it evaporates and turns back into a gas. This removes heat from the fridge interior, making it cold. The refrigerant then returns to the compressor, and the cycle repeats. You may have noticed that the back of your fridge feels warm. That's because the condenser is releasing heat into the room. All the heat removed from inside the fridge is being dumped outside. So while the inside gets cold, the outside actually becomes warmer. The refrigeration cycle is efficient because it reuses the same refrigerant continuously. Instead of creating cold air, it simply moves heat from one place to another. This makes it a reliable and energy-efficient system for cooling. To summarize, a refrigerator works by removing heat from inside and releasing it outside. It uses a cycle involving compression, condensation, expansion, and evaporation. At the center of this process is the refrigerant, which absorbs and releases heat as it changes state. So the next time you open your fridge, remember, it's not creating cold, it's constantly moving heat away. Now you understand how refrigerators actually remove heat using the refrigeration cycle. Subscribe for more simple engineering and science explanations, and don't forget to like and share this video. And check out the next video on your screen.